She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami, Season 1, Episode 2. Did I like today's episode? I guess I did. You know, it was kind of, I don't know. I have to get it figured out. You know, it's still early in the season. We still don't know all the characters just yet. So, I'm not going to say episode 1 wasn't as good as episode 2 wasn't as good as episode 1. But whatever. Hope everyone had a good Monday. We'll have a good Tuesday. Let's get things started. So the episode picks up, and we see Pleasure P and Shay meeting on the beach. And I'm like, why are they meeting on a beach if they supposedly renting that apartment from Airbnb from the producers of Love and Hip Hop? Why y'all ain't just meet at home? Like, why do people meet up outside in the elements? I never get that. Like, I don't want to meet you at a beach and stand outside the car with the headlights as our lights. I'm like, no, I don't want to do all that. Anywho, you know, first of all, what the fuck was Shay wearing? Like, I don't know if she had on some coochie cutter shorts, some culottes that she cut into shorts, and maybe I don't know what it was. I was very confused by what she had on, like, completely. I was also confused by what Pleasure P had on, but I don't know if the fashion in Miami is a little bit different than how we dress here in the D. But it is what it is. So P is basically like, he just wondering why the hell Shay was acting how she was acting. And Shay is wondering why he basically didn't defend her against his bandmates. I feel like Shay was wrong for her approach and how she went there. She went there with an attitude. She went there to beef with somebody. But I also feel like Pleasure P could have told his group members, hey man, chill out, you know, this is my girl, you know, let's not even have any of that. But it escalated so quickly, mainly because Shay came in like, I'm only here for him. You know what I'm saying? She came in on a different energy and a different vibe. So I think that's why it went left so fast. So he was saying, like, you know, you shouldn't really, you disrespected yourself and also my bandmates. I don't get why you was arguing with them. And she like, well, I don't get why you let your friend disrespect me. That part to me was crazy. And she was saying how, you know, so you're not going to have my back? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have my back. You can't back me up. Because he was telling her how she was in the wrong. Which she was. You know what I'm saying? He does admit that he should have told them that she was his girl. But I feel like he didn't tell them that she was his girl because she really not his girl. That's my point. Come on now. I feel like when you're getting back with your group mates or getting back with whoever, they know who your significant other is. You don't have to tell them, hey, this my girlfriend, because somewhere on God's green earth they would have seen that was your girlfriend. For example, when Escape got back together, they was all aware of who was so-and-so and so-and-so's husband because it's common knowledge. Ain't nobody believing that Pleasure P and Shay is a couple in real life and they not a couple for goddamn Love and Hip Hop. And not only that, how in the hell is Shay in the opening credits as a cast member but not Pleasure P? Shay's claim to fame is fucking with Flavor Flav and then fucking with Scrappy on the whole other season. I ain't saying that she shouldn't be on the season, but I'm like, how is she on here but Pleasure P ain't? And he goddamn gonna Love Hip Hop. They're a group, okay? He's in a whole singing group. Let me stop getting off track. So when he's telling her how she was disrespectful and, you know, how she needed to check herself too, and she was saying, well, you can't, how you not gonna have my back? Scrappy would have had my back. Scrappy would have never let some other man talk to me like that. You shouldn't have did that. Solely because you can't bring up what another man would have done for you when you ain't even with that man no more. And then P like, well, you know, wasn't I there for you when he broke your heart? I helped you pick up the pieces. That's something else. You with a whole nother person. Scrap got a whole wife. Okay, that man then moved on from you. He don't discuss you. Why even bring up what Scrappy would have done? The fuck? Why would you bring up of all Scrappy would never did that? I'm like, bitch, what? I was confused myself. Like, what does Scrappy have to do with this situation? My thing is, you could have just said another man wouldn't have let this happen. Why bring up one person who you said, oh my God, Scrappy broke my heart so bad, but he would have never let anybody talk to me like that. But he left you, okay, for someone else. So technically, he didn't let any man talk to you in any kind of way. He did, however, you know what I'm saying, play you to the left. So what do you care for? And, you know, she was trying to fake cry. Scrap would never do this to me. Man, you cry. Girl. Bucky Shea Johnson. I need you to get your life immediately because no one cares. First of all, it was a fake cry. It was a fake ass scene. And I feel like even people's like, the fuck is she crying for? This wasn't a part of my goddamn on plan. Like, what is she doing around these parts? So he like, look, you know, I ain't here to argue. I don't want to argue. You know, who wants to be arguing all the time? You know what I'm saying? It was my fault. I should have introduced you as my girlfriend. You know, I should have told them who you were. And then at that point, Shay still saying, you know, well, Baby Blue, oh, fat, shiny ass. Shay, you 2 burgers away from me and fat yourself home. So don't, and I don't get why people want to attack people because if they fat or they skinny. You know what I'm saying? I think those are easy reads. I think if you're going to attack someone, say some factual stuff. But calling him fat and shiny, he was at a performance, and sometimes in performance they wear shiny shit. It's called a stage outfit. You wouldn't know because you don't perform no goddamn wear. But that's neither here nor there. My thing is, even if like that old skinny, cracked out, skeleton looking, why you Shay, you look funny, boo-boo. You pretty in your own way. But I'm not, you can't be out here just talking about people as if, you know what I'm saying, you Halle Berry in these streets. You barely a celebrity. You barely hanging on by a thread to be on Love and Hip Hop, girl. Just hush. Get your 15 minutes of fame. Had this whole fake relationship with Pleasure P and keep it moving. Leave his bandmates out of it because at the end of the day, Pretty Ricky was a platinum selling, if I'm not mistaken. They were a huge deal. Don't nobody want to see you at all. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, P just said let's just hug it out, and they hug it out. But he looking like he don't really want to hug her, so we know something's gonna be up with that situation. We meet 2 new people, like 4 new people in this episode. One person we meet is Prince. I guess he's a party promoter. He think he the Prince of Miami. Everybody think they the Prince, and the Prince is the king and the queen or something. Look, y'all not, okay? Just leave it alone. He's talking with another guy who's a DJ, like, oh yeah, you the prince of this, you the prince of that, and you know, your only competition is some girl named Michelle Pooch. I don't know who the hell Michelle Pooch is because, again, I'm not from Miami, so I'm not sure. However, they such B characters, they had a whole scene that the show ain't even aired because he like, yeah, I met with her and at her party she put me out, and then show footage of him at this party. It wasn't a party. It was like, it looked like he was at her dining room table, and it looked like someone's dining room table for real. And she like, well, you know, I think your brand is a little ghetto for me. You know, this is not what I want to do. So I think you all should leave. And he was offended because she referred to him as ghetto. I mean, the girls you had could have been ghetto. It is what it is. But I guess Michelle Pooch is this dude Prince arch enemy. I guess, you know, I don't know if it's the Power Rangers versus whoever else. All I know is I didn't even care. And I felt like it was a weird way to introduce both of them. You know, I be packing the clubs, and, you know, I bring in this amount, and everybody know me, and I don't be name dropping. And when so-and-so come, I didn't care at all. I really didn't care. I mean, this whole thing that we see is going to be a rivalry between this dude Prince and the girl Michelle. Okay, we'll see if we like it. I know right now, so it is what it is. We then see 2 new other people. It was a girl named Veronica Vega, and then another girl whose name I didn't even write down, who was in the later on scene. It'll be what it's gonna be. She's also, I guess, an artist too. She is also Latina. She's like, I don't want to say she looks white because that's offensive if she's Latina, but she's the girl. She was in the first episode. It was her. They were all, her, Amara, and the other girl was talking in the first episode. But I didn't know that she was Latina initially. but she's also Latin and everything. And she's talking with Amara and the other girl basically about the whole situation with Young Hollywood. So Amara was letting them both know I met with him. He was kind of offensive, he was just kind of, talking about how, he doesn't like my look, how my afro isn't elegant, just telling them what happened or whatever and how it made her feel. She was crying a little bit, saying how, over the years, people have always told her she's too black or she's not black enough or her hair isn't her, just because she's Afro-Latina. And people kind of comment on my post last week when I asked people to let me know what Afro-Latina is, and I get it now. They were like, it's the same way how you're African-American. You live in America, but you have African descent. And I'm like, oh, so they just live in a Latin country, but they are of African descent, so they're Afro-Latina. It made complete sense when people explained it to me. I'm like, okay, now I get it. It's not saying that she's not African or that she's not Latino. She's both the same way I'm African American. I was like, oh, that makes complete sense. So now I get when they said Young Hollywood was being an asshole about how he was talking to her, because in Miami and in Latin culture, it's known what it is that he was being an asshole. So I completely get it. Anyway, she's saying how, her whole life, he just kept telling her what she wasn't and what she wasn't enough of, what she couldn't do, and it just kind of hitting her with her when he kind of didn't accept her for who she was. And, they kind of tell her, like, look, you're amazing, don't let anyone question, don't let anyone have you question who you are as a Latina. And I agree with that. I think Amara is a beautiful, beautiful woman, whether she's African-American, Latino, Afro-Latino, whatever she is beautiful. I love her hair, even though I do want to see her hair in a different way because it's an afro. I do want to see it differently. I don't care. That's my preference. But I still think no one should judge her based on whatever. She is Afro-Latina. She has said that. So to question, well, what are you? At this point, when you know what it is stupid. So I think she's gorgeous. I love her. I love her. Next, we meet Trina's cousin, her other cousin. Not the Bobby dude. This is her female cousin, a girl named Joy, who also happens to be married to Trick. Now, her and Trick have been divorced for 4 years. I don't get why people divorce and be divorced for that long and they're not together. And then I don't get why people separate and want to divorce and then don't divorce. If y'all have been separated for 4 years and y'all don't talk, y'all not together, why not just get a divorce? Why? Girl, who knows? So, it's Joy's birthday, but also it's a club appearance with Trick and Trina. And for some reason, Joy's coming to tag along. And, Trina's saying, like, look, y'all been, separated for 4 years. Y'all not going to get back together. Why haven't y'all just got a divorce? And Joy is saying how, she tried to get him to get divorced a few years ago. He kind of went down the paperwork. And in the back of her head, she just keeps thinking, like, well, what if he changes and we get back together? I had a conference with a friend about something like this like 2 days ago. A guy who she has been with for a number of years. She asked him to do things to change, just to evolve, to grow, and he ain't did it. And then so she left him, and then once she moved on with dating other people, he then wanted to tell her all the things that she wanted to hear. And I said, friend, if he ain't did the things you asked him to do in all them years that y'all were together, why'd you listen to him now, girl? Don't have that whole what-if situation. So with Joy, if y'all been divorced for 4 years and he ain't did whatever it was that you want him to do for the reason you left, why are you thinking, well, what if? Let me just keep holding out. Girl, you're going to be holding off your whole damn life. So, Trina's like, look, y'all need to just get divorced and just move on with your life and just leave it alone. Like, even stop. You basically stop pussyfooting around, let it be what it's going to be. So in the club, we're tricking her, they partying or whatever. He say, I look to the left and I see Joy and I'm wondering what the hell she doing here. I ain't get to talk to her in years, but I know she's Trina's cousin and she pop up from here and there. But if I ain't talked to you for years, I want you around me. I'm like, well, okay. It was just weird. And he like, Joy was complaining, so she left me 4 years ago. Like, but in the 4 years that she been saying that she left me saying she wasn't happy, but in these 4 years, her ass still ain't happy. And I was like, well, okay. Someone, she hasn't found the thing that he like the things that she said I wasn't doing, she ain't found them with nobody else. So, it is what it is. So then Joy even said, like, seeing Trick and how they don't talk to each other. She like, we need to just kind of nip this in the bud and be divorced. Y'all should have been divorced 3 years ago. I'm just, it is what it is. We didn't see a scene with Gunplay, and he's meeting up with the girl Miami Tip. I think it's stupid, simply because Miami Tip looked like she always wanted him to put the tip in. And I feel like if you have a girlfriend, you shouldn't be around chicks who want you to put your tip in they tip. Because if you dip your tip and they dip, it's going to be a whole situation that you don't even want to have going on. So just leave it alone. I'm pretty sure there are other artists in Miami who you can work with. But I digress. That ain't what happened. And also because, his girl Kiara doesn't know Gunplay and the girl has messed around. So, at the little pool hall, they talking or whatever. He just saying how, he do want to work with her musically. She all kind of hooked up on him. She put her hand over she like rubbed her hand over his crotch area. He like, man, come on now, you doing too much. You like your daddy. He like, well, I do like when you call me daddy. I don't like when any woman call a man who ain't her man daddy. Well, yeah. I mean, if you call your boyfriend, hey, daddy, or daddy, whatever. That ain't your man, girl, bye. He said to her, no, she then asked him, is you single now, whatever, like, is there a situation? And he, well, I am seeing somebody. And she's like, whatever, you always see somebody. He like, no, me and her, we kind of serious. Tip then proceeds to bend over and say, like, I bet she ain't got all this. I bet she can't do that. She on the pool table, bent over. I'm like, girl, I just don't understand when a woman comes on to a man who has a girl and you don't care. Because my thing is, once he's your man, would you want another chick doing that to him? No, you would not. So my thing is, Miami Tip is an example of women who I hate. The kind of woman who says things like, I want you and I don't care what you got because your woman ain't got nothing on me. Bitch, my paw's gonna be on you in a minute. Now, what I did appreciate is how Gunplay didn't play into it. He looked, men gonna look. We can't say they ain't gonna look, but he didn't at least like walk up and step on the ass and then walk away and say, "Let's go do these things." Because if it was Rich Dollars, if this was Peter Guns, if this was Cisco, if this was any other body on the Creep Squad, they would have took her up on an offer. So at least he did not take temptation. Oh, slut. So then later on, we see how Gunplay tells Kiara, hey, I want to go meet with Miami Tip to talk about business, to talk about this music. But she came on to me, she was bending over, shaking and jiggling or whatever. And she like, what? This is exactly why I didn't want to come back to Miami, because it's all this bullshit. Girl, please, you can't blame that girl on Miami. It's sluts everywhere. It's sluts in Michigan. It's sluts in Ohio. It's sluts in Miami. It's sluts in, everywhere. In Washington, D.C., it's a slut anywhere you can think of it to be. Hell, it's sluts probably in Oklahoma, Alabama, on the back skirts of North Carolina. So you can't be like, because you in Miami, where there's so much temptation. No, boo-boo, there's temptation everywhere. Gunplay is telling her, like, I didn't act on it. I'm just letting you know what happened so that you can know. And then she pissed off as if he slept with her. I can't believe you, and that's why we shouldn't be here. And it is what it is. He like, but I didn't do nothing. You should be happy. I told you, and I was honest with you, and that I didn't act on it. I agree. I agree on both ends. One, you shouldn't be around a girl because you tried to sleep with her, and two, your girl don't know. But on the other hand, in some cases, if some people. I wouldn't want my man work with nobody who he slept with either. I really wouldn't. A person like that, okay? Do I think there are people who could have had sexual relationships and they have completely moved past it? Absolutely. I have friends who, I have exes or just people I used to kick it with who we not even on that level anymore, and we still hang out here and there, and it ain't nothing sexual, you know what I'm saying? But they don't have girlfriends, and if they do have girlfriends, the girlfriends know. We used to kick it back in the day, but girl, I don't want that boy. I've moved far past his situation. Gunplay in the wrong because he haven't let Kiara know him and the girl messed around, so he already holding secrets. But as they talking, she's like, well, you know what, that's all right, whatever, because I'm a secure the bag, and I'm going to secure the bag, and we're going to see how you take it, and I'm going to be working with all these male artists, and let's see how you like it. And I thought to myself, well, what the fuck does Kiara do? Like, is she a rapper? Is she a stripper? Like, what does she do that she going to go out here and make these bags? Like, because he like, well, go make the bags then. Bring them home. But what does she do? But, you know, it is what it is, so we have to figure it out. There's a short scene of Shay working out, running with some girl, and it's the girl Michelle Pooch, who was the arch enemy. I'm gonna keep calling her the arch enemy of the guy Prince. And so Shay saying how her and Michelle are longtime friends, forever buddies. You know how that be. They be fake buddies. And you know, Michelle is saying how Prince trying to come for her title. Again, they arch enemies. I'm like, you know, it's like the Smurfs and Gargamel. This is what I imagine it to be. So is that situation. And, you know, Shay saying, well, you know, you the top notch, and can't nobody come for your crown, and I got your back forever. Which means it's going to be a fight later on in the season, and Shay going to get involved in some sort of way. So Shay then brings up her situation with Pleasure P and how she got into it with his group mates and how she ain't really there for his group mates. And what I did like about Michelle is what she said was, you need to chill out. Like, you need to be supportive of him and his group mates, because at the end of the day, his group ain't going nowhere. And that's the truth. He can't make no money with you, but he can make money with them. And why I don't think a person should put money over love, he don't love you. I don't know how else to say it, Shay. He don't love you, so you do need to calm down, play your position, support your man, even if your man is doing business with someone who used to or who has said negative things about him in the past. Because we can't act like it couldn't have been reciprocal. Like, he could have said something dumb about that. And it was a long, girl, who cares? You weren't even with that man when it happened. That's like, you think Beyonce out here mad at Latoya, at old Destiny Child's members? No. Jay-Z don't care about them old girls. He's like, look, I'm going to support my wife regardless if she want to get back with Destiny Child or not. So it is what it is. They just got on my damn nerve. We see Young Hollywood at his, like, a video release party. It seemed like it was popping. Like, it seemed like a real video release party. Not like them fake ones that we used to see on, like, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. This one seemed really real. And I was looking like, okay, it's a lot of people. They speak in the different languages. You know, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know the stuff that they were saying, like, in the video or whatever. So I'm not sure. But it looked like it was a fun party. I wish I was there. And we then see Veronica Vega, and Steph somebody, that's the other girl, were coming to this party to kind of confront Young Hollywood on what he said to Amara. And I'm like, y'all are just inserting yourself in something that got nothing to do with y'all at somebody's public event. But I get that. Like, when somebody came for me on Instagram the other day, my best friend, when she seen what I posted, like, she went and inboxed the dude and was like, and she went on. She inserted herself in some beef that wasn't really hers. But we are truly, like, best friends. Like, we've been best friends since the 4th grade. And I do the same for her. But I mean, I'm not going to go to someone's event and cause a scene. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I'll get your way, unless they at her thing, then I'm going to go off. But so they get there, and they kind of didn't even really check him. They just said, well, hey, yeah, we have a mutual friend, you know, Amara, and, you know, you kind of hurt her feelings. You said that she wasn't this and she wasn't that. And he goes in and says, like, I didn't mean to offend her. I wasn't trying to be offensive. He said, what you're trying to say, I think from time to time, she should change her look up a little bit. Now, why I get him saying that, the comments that he made about her Afro-Latina-ness and comparing her to Nutella, he put the whole black fist thing. I think he if he didn't mean to offend her, he was offensive. And I hope he does apologize. Because when Veronica says, like, well, you know, well, how about, you know, would you be open to apologize to her? If you're saying that you did not mean to offend her, would you apologize to her because you really hurt her feelings? And then he then says, you know what? I'll apologize if you go on a date with me. Anyone who says, I'll only apologize if you do something for me, you don't really mean the apology. What you should have said was, I'll gladly apologize to her because I wasn't trying to offend her. He then could have said, But, after that, how about we go on a date? You shouldn't make the apology based on her friend going on a date with you. Back to me, I was looking like, boy, bye. So they kind of flirting back and forth or whatever. She didn't say yes or no, but she did sit down with him, and they had a drink, and it was weird. But I think we do know that they're gonna end up going on a drink, because we do see later on in the season, Amada and Veronica kind of going at it or whatever. The next thing we see Shay at home. She boiling some broccoli, you know what I'm saying? She got her a new wig on, not them other weird wigs that she got on. And she like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take Veronica's advice. Is it Veronica? What's the girl name? Michelle, Lord Jesus. Veronica's my sister. She said she's going to take Michelle's advice, and she's going to, show Pleasure P that she's turned over a new leaf, that she's a different person. She's leaving all the issues and the baggage and the ghetto-ness in Atlanta, and she's a whole new person. Yep. She cooking her man a meal like you supposed to do. So we see her in the kitchen cooking the meal. We see, Pleasure P, on his way to dinner and everything. And when he come in and he have a seat, the person across the table isn't Shay. I'm like, Hoppo, who this woman? It's a whole different breed of a person. It's a whole different person. Okay, it's not Shay at all. He's not even at her house. He's at a restaurant. So I'm like, well, Pleasure P, who this? Hoppo. I don't know this girl. And it turns out it's an ex-girlfriend of his named Gabby. He supposedly dated her for like 4 years, and then they broke up. And, he hasn't heard from her in a while. And, they just catching up on old times. He said that he told Shay that he was caught up, got caught up in some other things. It was busy, and he couldn't make it. You can't tell somebody you busy and you go on a date with somebody else. No. I mean, just tell me, you can't know. You're lying. Like, just go have dinner with Shay, and then when you're not supposed to have plans with Shay, go ahead and be with Gabby if you need to. Okay, it is what it is. But that ain't what he did. And the thing about it is, Gabby ain't calling him P or Pleasure. No. Gabby calling him Marcus. You know it's real when a person calls you by your real name. Like, I find it weird that people call Scrappy. Like, any guy I've dealt with, I do not call them by their nickname. No. In public, I will, if no one, knows their real name or whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure people call Lil Duval. They don't call him by his real name or whatever. But, my exes, I'm not called, when I'm talking to my ex, I'm calling you by your name, okay? I'm not calling you Sleepy. I'm calling you Demetrius, okay? That is your fucking name. I'm not calling you P. I'm not calling you Pleasure. I'm going to call you Marcus. Gabby was like, Marcus. I'm like, oh, they were in a real relationship. I'm pretty sure they was going to get married because you don't call them P. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just being petty. Anyway, so they're kind of talking about old times, and he like, you kind of up and left me, without no word or whatever. I haven't heard from you in a while. And she's like, well, no, that's not really how it was. It was a lot going on, that's not how I thought it happened. But she's like, my people moving back to Miami, so I'm here for a few months. So I said, I should hook up with you and, see what's up and see, just chit-chat a little bit. And, she wants to see if they can get back together. And he did say no. Because he says that Gabby is his what-if girl. The what-if person is the person who you were with, y'all had a great relationship, but for whatever reason, y'all broke up. And you always wonder, well, what if we stayed together? What if I fought harder to fix it or whatever? You're a what-if person. And so when she said, can we see where we're going from here? He says, you know what? Well, let's kind of hang out. Let's give it some time and let's see what can happen. In his confession, he say, even though he's trying to build this situation with Shay, he still feels like, because Gabby was his what-if girl, he wants to just kind of see where it goes. And Shay already on thin ice. I'm looking like, but you wrong. Because you not letting the other girl know that you have a whole another situation. I think when you're dating someone, I feel like you're allowed to date more than one person. But if you're exclusive with one person, you can't be trying to see how the grass look across the lawn because you might want to buy the other house. No, you need to say, hey, house, we might not work out, so I'm going to look at other houses. So they know ahead of time that you might be 1 foot out the door, and they can choose to either stick around and deal with it or not. But for you to not give me a choice to deal with it pisses me off. And so, but it is what it is, because that's his what if girl, and whatever. Next, we see Kiara. She then went to Miami Tip's job to see her because, Gunplay done told her about the girl, so she's like, I want to go see her in person, let her name, and let her know that's my man, to keep her hands to herself. And Kiara like, Gunplay, you work with Gunplay? And then Tip like, yeah. And she was like, well, I'm his girlfriend. And she's like, okay. And it was weird because Kiara said, he told me that y'all met up and how you was coming on him and how you was twerking and bending over. Now, Miami Tip made it seem as if, she's like, oh, is that what he said? Well, bitch, that's what happened. So the way she said it made it seem as if he was lying, and he wasn't. And then her friend, Strawberry, stripper names, it's like, well, they used to mess around. And I would have been like, who the fuck are you? I ain't even talking to you, homegirl. But, friend jump in from here to here. And so Carol, she didn't know that, but she played it off. She then like, well, look, I'm saying? I'm his girl, so you need to keep your hands to yourself, just back off. Miami Tip said, I don't care. He ain't no ring on his finger. That's just a girlfriend. I can do whatever. Like, at that point, I would have leaped over the table and just, snatched her ass right on up. But Kiara didn't do that. She go from saying, I don't want no gunplay. I ain't worried about him. Now that I saw you, I'm thinking about laying down with you. Excuse me, say what? I'm like, this just went left. Kiara was like, me? You want me? And she's like, yeah, girl, you look, turn around, let me see that thing. I'm like, how did it go from you come to the club to check this girl about flirting with your man to her not wanting to mess with you and you smiling and cheesing as if it's a compliment? You can't compliment me when you just told me that you don't care that I'm his girlfriend and that you don't care if a man has a girlfriend because a girlfriend ain't nothing unless it's a wife. I would have a complete issue with you even if you found me attractive. And my thing is, Kiara, that was a tag head move, in my opinion, because I can't laugh and kiki and giggle with you for what? Girl, bye. I was just like, she gonna just laugh it off and leave like it's nothing, and she laughed it off and left as it was nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I was just so confused about whatever just happened. Girl, it is what it is. The last scene that we see is Joy, and she done popped up the Trick house. I never get how someone can pop up at someone else's house filming a TV show. Because my thing is, the camera's there, so something to go on. But I guess it is what it is. And when she knocked on the door, when I seen Dawn answer the door, I said, is this Miami or is this Atlanta? Like, Dawn be at Atlanta with... I was thoroughly confused. Well, trying to come to find out, Dawn, who used to be with Jocelyn and them or whatever, and Steve, and them and stuff. She is Trick's manager. I'm guessing, is that why Trick ain't really did nothing in years? Is Dawn really a manager? We're gonna get that along. So Joy and Trick having a conversation, and Trick like, I'm pissed off you popped up. You don't come popping up to my house. Only thing that pop up my house is toast and toast. I said, Trick reminds me of Mama D, because he says the most crazy things and he be dead ass serious. So Joy says, look, I know we haven't talked in a while, and I know you're probably wondering the real reason I left you all them years ago. She then says, it's because I wasn't happy. And he like, but you still not happy. I was like, Trick, you gonna just say that about that girl? And she like, what? And he was like, you know, all these years, you know what I'm saying? You left this kingdom, you left the king, and you out here running around with peasants on Instagram who can't even afford you. You know, you got $100,000 truck, and they can't even afford to pay for the tithe, the 12 grand. That's my thing. It ain't always about money. It ain't always about money. He's like, look, you not happy. You left me, and you haven't been happy since we broke up. You haven't been in a relationship longer than 6 months. So you left me for no reason. You ain't gonna never find somebody who gonna like me. And she like it, but it wasn't about the money. If it was about the money, we would have been good. I want someone to love and respect me. Meaning, Trick was probably out here dotting and bopping, and she got tired of it and she left. And he probably felt like, because I'm taking care of you financially and I do love you, you should be happy. And she wasn't, and she left. And you know, he like, you know, you not doing no better now than you was when you was with me, so what's the point? And I'm just like, I mean, it was crazy. It was kind of, you know, he kind of got you like, you know, I'm tired of talking, you know, I don't care, I'm going to take a shit, I'm going to sleep. Really? And it's like, Trick, let's keep talking. And he walked around, left her ass. He said, Don, you come talk to her. I'm looking like, what? And then the episode went off. I mean, Trick is funny. Trick, he said, you left the king, you left the kingdom, and now you run around with peasants on Instagram who can't afford to pay for the tires on your $100,000 truck. I said, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, that's my Love Hip Hop Miami recap. Let me know how you feel about it. Put the comments below. Don't forget to like the Lord Jesus. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. I am Jay Lee, Fizz Jay's Corner. Till next time. Peace.